Good morning, everybody. My name is Sally Thibault. Welcome to the Isn't It Time Facebook live show. Today we are going to have a Power Pack show. This is episode number 44 and the last one for 2018. It's been quite a year, hasn't it? So morning, Donna. Yeah, hot and steamy down here on the coast too. It's very windy. Good morning, Josie. Welcome, and thank you for being here. Yeah, it's we've had some pretty wild winds and it looked like it was going to rain. I got up at 4:30 this morning and the sun's out now. Morning, Sue Ann. Lovely to have you here. Isn't this wonderful? Gosh, goodness gracious. Thank you to everybody who has supported the show over this year. It's been a great learning curve for me, and I've really enjoyed bringing you information every Saturday morning. And for those who do also hop on later in the week, I love that you send messages and some of the ahas that you're receiving from the show. So, yes, I'm having a 2-week break. This time next week, we will be in rainy, cold, wet Vancouver. We leave next Friday to have Christmas with our children. For those of you who don't know, all our 3 children, for whatever reason, now live in Canada. So we're all gathering on Vancouver Island for a very different Christmas. In fact, we were at a Christmas party last night and it was so hot and steamy and people are trying to kind of, fan themselves. And I thought, gosh, in 1 week's time, it's going to be so different. So welcome this morning. So let me know where you are. How is it? Morning, Elle. Oh, thank you, Donna. Oh, thank you, Donna. It's lovely. Thank you very much. I hope you're all well. And who's organised for Christmas? I'd love to know. Tell me if you're organised and ready. Oh my goodness, I am. I've had to be very organised this year. All our gifts are actually overseas right now. So the wonderful thing about being a part of doTERRA, everybody's getting essential oils, whether they like it or not. Yes, I hope so. Elle, Alyssa just sent me the long range weather forecast. And for the week that we're there, it's going to be 5 degrees every day. That's okay, but raining. So we are going to we'll have a good time. We've waterproofed our boots. We've got raincoats and big sweaters, and we'll be fine. Hopefully, I just hope we can. We're hoping to go snowshoeing. There's a place you go snowshoeing, and like cross country skiing, which I really love. And you get hot chocolate afterwards. And I just said to Alyssa this morning, gosh, I hope there's snow. Go snowshoeing. And the ice doesn't melt in Robson Street. So anyway, it's really good. Let's get on. With today's show. We're going to be talking about the power of the one-word theme. Now, as I mentioned in the lead up to this, and I think I mentioned it last week, this is a process I've been doing since 1997. Elle, that's I think when we first met. I think it was 1998 actually when we met, but I've been doing this since 1997, and I came across it as a matter of just I needed lots of woolies. I know, right? I needed solutions. That was the year our son was diagnosed with Asperger's syndrome, now part of the autism spectrum. And it had been a really challenging year and I didn't know where to go. Now I'd had this diagnosis, and I came up with the word, I need solutions. And that became my word for the year. And it really did. It was a year that I kind of got everything into place. We found all sorts of things for him. We found a social skills group for him. We found really good therapists for him. We found a new school for him. So it really created those solutions. And then I just started doing it every year. And I know a lot of people do. One of my business mentors, Mari Smith, I know does it every year as well. And she actually posts a blog post every year about how it's unfolded. So for me, it's a way of keeping focused for the year. And as I mentioned on last week's show, I truly believe that what most people are going to need more than anything else in 2019 is clarity. I'm seeing on Facebook at the moment, everyone posting, 2019 is going to be my year and it's a brand new start, can't wait, blah, 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 farewell 2018. But what's going on politically and economically in the first parts of this year, we're going to be coming up against a federal election. Of course, that always, business really struggles with that and everybody gets a bit funny. There is a downturn in the real estate market for anybody that's overextended. There is still that sort of underemployment. There is still issues with slow wage growth, the credit squeeze. So it's for the first few months, for many people, might be a time of uncertainty. And that's why creating clarity is really important to help you get over that. You know, if you, even just the thing like a federal election, impacts on business. Business historically slows down in the lead up to a federal election. And already, you know, the argy-bargy back and forth, will they, won't they, when are they going to call it? All that's designed to create sort of feelings of just not feeling certain. So what a one-word theme does is it helps you stay on path. And as I mentioned, I really believe that in 2019, clarity, being clear on what you want, is going to create the confidence that you need in order to move forward in your business or in your life. So let's talk about what it is. The one-word theme for me, I take a long time to come up with it. In fact, last weekend I sat on Sunday on the floor with 6 words in front of me. I take it very seriously. 6 words in front of me, and looking at each. Is that really saying what I want? How do I express? Is that the word I kind of use it? It's a bit airy-fairy, that word. I was looking for a word this year for me that was very grounded. I wanted something very grounded that talked about me, but also talked about my clients and talked about where I was heading in my business. So I wanted to find a word that encapsulated all of that, because it goes just beyond what you want. I know my accountability partners and I were talking about this on Monday, and one of my accountability partners has had the same word for the last 2 or 3 years. And she said, it's really worked for me. I'm not so sure I want to change it. But then she said, I'm wondering if I should challenge myself. So as you can see, we kind of take it really seriously. So it sort of goes beyond what you want. The word you choose is how you're going to express you for the year. So it goes beyond what you want. It's how are you going to express you for the year? It's the impact you want to make. How is it, if you choose this word, how is that going to impact on what you do as you're moving forward? And then the third thing is, does that word align with your purpose and vision? So I always do my word first. It's the first thing I do before, you can see the vision board behind me, before I do my vision board, because the word forms, I don't know if you can see it, but the word's right in the middle there. Where is it? There, right there. There's the word. And then I create the vision around the board around it. And each of the images has to interact with that word. So when I look at that word that I choose, I think, okay, this is what I want. So one of them, yeah, thank you, Donna. I love that. Serious about the work you do. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I get really serious. I'm a great believer in words, Donna. I am a great believer in the absolute power of words. I learned this lesson very, very early on when I was working with, when my son was diagnosed. He had a speech delay, and he also had a great deal of challenge understanding words. So we had to learn to be very succinct in the words we used, and that the words we used expressed the meaning of what we wanted. So we couldn't just say to David, go stand over there. He had no idea where there was. Or, just wait a sec. He had no idea what that was. We had to say, please go and stand over by the kitchen. Just wait there. I'll be there back in 2 minutes. We had to be very specific. And so that kind of theme has run through our family. And I know the power of it, because words can be so misinterpreted as well. Like, I'm always picking my clients up when they're saying words. I'm always listening to the words, and I'm always picking them up to reframe it. I reframe it myself all the time. So when you create the word that resonates with you, it forms the basis of every action you want to take, especially in your business. So if you're in business as a coach or a leader, that word is that it's like, before I make a choice about where I'm heading in my business, because as you know, business is up and down, you get sort of opportunities coming all the time. Is that in alignment with the word that aligns with my purpose and vision? I'm going to go back to that whole thing about clarity. This is about creating clarity, and clarity creates confidence. Confusion creates overwhelm, and if you're clear, it just gives you confidence to move forward. So then I say, well, is the choice I'm about to make in alignment with the theme I wanted this year? The 365 days is in alignment. So last year my word was limitless. And it truly has been a limitless year. We've just, we moved to this fabulous apartment, which we absolutely love and adore. I've had over 1,000 spots on media this year. Who would have thought this time last year? It's just the way it turned out. This because I do regular weekly spots with 24 radio stations. Plus, we've had stuff in paper, all that stuff. So, creating new programs, writing a new book. The word limitless. So it was what I want to do is to remove my limitations. Now, the other thing that I do when I'm very serious about this, as you can obviously gather. When I do then is I make anagrams from each of the letters. So I kind of weave my goals. Oh, nice, Donna. Yeah, nice. So I weave my goals in amongst the intentions. Like usually the goals. I weave my intentions into it. So for limitless, for instance, I take the word L. I choose to laugh often, love unconditionally, and live purposefully. So that L word, L letter, stood for the three things: laugh often, and we happened to go to Melbourne for Christmas last year, and every time I get with my sisters, we just laugh and laugh and laugh. So I do that a lot. So I've got lots of wrinkles around my eyes because I laugh a lot. Live purposefully. That was really important for me this year, that I wanted to make sure that I lived with my purpose, and I also expressed purposefully. So I was very careful and conscious, not all the time, but tried to make myself conscious about the things that I did. And the last one was to love unconditionally. And I've told this story. I can't remember. Maybe Donna, you might remember this. You've been on nearly every single show this year, but I tell this story. When we went to Christmas for Christmas last year, went to Melbourne and spent it with my dad because my kids were all overseas. And my sister had given my dad an iPad for Christmas. My dad's 86. And she said to us Christmas Day, well, you're staying with Dad. Why don't you teach him how to use it? Ha, ha, ha. She got in the car. Typical middle child. And so then I sat with my dad for, like 3 full days trying to teach him how to use an iPad. And whoa, was there times when I'm going, love unconditionally, love unconditionally, love unconditionally, tap. Oh, he was getting grumpy with me and I was getting grumpy with him. And anyway, we got through it. But that's what it does. It gives you that kind of focus, okay? Live purposely. So how do I express this word in the actions I take? Then, as I just explained, how does this word impact on others? So in my business, for instance, if I'm working with my client, how do I help them also experience a limitless focus? How do I help them also become limitless? And that was the key to much of the coaching I did this year, was taking my clients to think outside of the square, think in terms of having no limitations. So how does the word impact on others? And what do I do each day that expresses this word? Now, I know a couple of friends of mine yesterday posted that theirs is joy for the year, which is a beautiful word. So how does that word then, fold into everything that you do? How does that word express joy? So to bring joy when you're working with clients, bring joy when you're working with your family, bring joy to, how do you express joy? What makes you joyful? And that's why, and I'll go back to this again, the reason it's so important is it helps you clear the clutter out of your mind. So what I do is then go through and take out each of the letters. So each of the letters means something. What did mine last year? One of the L's was live in the present moment. So living in the present moment. So I just took I take each of the letters and kind of create statements that help me stay focused. So then when I've got all that done, my word, all the anagrams pulled out, then I start to create intentions. Okay, how am I going to do this year? When I counted up how many media spots I've had, which is lovely because I do regular ones, and the guys have all said this week, are you back next year? We want you back next year. It's so lovely. Who would have thought I could have come up with 52 different topics every for the year to talk about? But that's limitless. See, I didn't limit myself in my expression. I've got to tell you, because I record usually on a Tuesday, and then two of the radio stations I go in once a month. So I have to have 4 ready. And it's really interesting because oftentimes on a Sunday night, I have no idea what I'm going to talk about. I have no idea. Somehow a topic pops up. It's really interesting. So that's limitless. That was my word. Now this year, I'm still I pretty well got my words sorted this year. There's another one I'm kind of looking at. But as I said, I take it really, really, really seriously. So pop in the comments. Let me know if there's a word that's kind of resonating for you at the moment, about where you want to go with your word. Just is there anything that's kind of jumping out at you? There's also success was my word for a year. That was a cool year. That was the year I wrote Tapping to Reclaim You. There was a word that I chose one year was transcendence. That was a tough year. I decided, stupidly, I know how this process works, that I wanted to transcend any limiting beliefs that I had. But those of you who work in energy work, you know what that means. That means you have to go in and you've got to unpack, undo, and rebuild. And boy, was that it was a confronting year. It was, I was literally placed in situations where I had to transcend any limiting beliefs I had about myself, about anything. And while it was in hindsight a great year from that perspective, whoa. It was there was a couple of times during the year I'd go, I'm too old for this rubbish. I'm too old for this rubbish. So let me know. I've got a word. Have you got a word, or you're thinking of a word? Let me know if I can help you. If you've got any questions. It's unfortunate that we don't do this. I might start doing a few more webinars next year, I think, because I want to have a bit more interaction with you guys. So if you have any words that are resonating with you, let me know. So as I mentioned, my word, I think transform is going to be my word for this year. It seems to be the overarching thing. And again, I put a lot. So when I use it, it was, Donna. It was a fabulous year of growth. Not while I was in it. Not while I was in it. That was the year, actually. I think that was the year that most of the kids left home too, which was a bit, that was hard. To transcend, those who am I now? I'm not a parent really anymore. You move out of that stage. Your mother role changes for those on the call who have kids now, who are adults. You know what I mean? Your role changes, and it's a little. You're like, who am I? Where do I go? So, let me know if you've got any words or any questions that you have. All right. So So once you've created your word, then it's a matter of how does my purpose, and we've talked about true purpose on all these calls. How does my true purpose then express through that? So my 3 words: teach, lead, inspire. So they have to work through that word. And then, as I said, then I create the goals, intentions. And I only do 90-day intentions. I don't do year-long intentions. Things change too much. I have visions about what I want. Like our vision for last year was to have Christmas in Canada. So that's played itself out beautifully. That's a vision. Wasn't quite sure where we would be or what we'd be doing. Sally, okay. That's Sally. I need a word establishing my new me. Place that up there. It's been a rebirth this year. Interesting, Sally. I need a word for establishing myself in my new me. Transformation might be something for you. trying to think of one of my clients is the word expansive, which I think is lovely. Rebirth might be one for you. Reclaim might be another one for you. So you want to look at how that word really expresses what is it, what's the outcome you want to achieve for the year. I've gone blank at the moment. I can't think of anything else. But if the other thing is to grab the dictionary, grab a thesaurus, and start to go through that, looking at what the word means. That's when I did the word transcendence. I wanted to be that came up when I was looking for words that kind of, said what I wanted to. I kind of pulled it in, as you know. Fantastic. Sue-Ann, authenticity. Oh, yes. Yes. That's a great word. That's a great word. And yeah, and you know what, Sue-Ann, that's really, your newborn. Oh, that's interesting, Janet. Yeah. Sue-Ann, authenticity. Yeah, you know what, Sue-Ann, I think that's going to be another strong word for 2019, because it's authenticity is it's a verb. How do I show up authentically? How do I express authentically? Love it. Yeah, same with oh, Nat, nice. Embrace. I like that too. Yeah, embrace. Really good. So I would look at that, Nat, how am I going to embrace who I am, my clients, what I do? Love it. That's a beautiful word, actually. Authenticity, yeah. Clarity in all things, simplicity and grounded. Ooh, nice. Clarity is a good one. Get really clear on who you are. I would, and you could kind of, in using the anagrams out of that, finding the words that really resonate with you. Yeah, Donna, uniqueness. Yeah, that's lovely. So, and that, I'm just going to go back. You guys know I went to Ali Brown, and for those who don't know, Ali Brown runs the Glambition Radio on podcast, Glambition Radio, and I went to her workshop last November, not the one goes past before. And she talked about, one of the great words I love is iconic. And she talks about that. So Donna, a lot of these words that are popping up, it's like, how do you be you in a world of overwhelm, in a world of everybody doing the same thing? How do you be uniquely you? And what does that mean? So how do I express through that? So for you, Donna, what does it mean for you? How do you express through that? Because there's a tendency when you are just trying to get this up here. Where am I? Where did I go? There can be a tendency to fall back, because as you step out into that uniqueness or gain that clarity, as Sally was saying, authenticity, as you step out into that, it can feel quite fearful. So it's like, who am I? And I believe many of us on this call today, we bring such wisdom to what we do. If we try and be like anybody else, we lose that authenticity. And that's what Ali Brown talked about in Iconic. She talked about that if you get caught up in what everybody else is doing, trying to be like everybody else or somebody else, you just get lost in the noise. How do clients know who you are? How do you make a stand? And Eleanor Beaton talks about that. How do you make a stand rather than how do you kind of fit in, and that's that kind of, when my kids were at school, the headmaster used to talk about the great grey mass. There's 10% of the kids used to notice all the time in school, more winning the awards to do it. The other 10% down the bottom were always in trouble. And then there was kind of the great grey mass. And I used to listen to him talk about that. And I remember when my daughter graduated in year 12, I was working at the school to take photography. And there was all these kids standing on stage to get, at the end of year 12. I'm thinking, who are you? I haven't even seen you all year. So there's a tendency in this noisy social media world to want to be like everybody else and follow everybody else. And yet what you need to do is to be uniquely you, because people want to follow you. You attract your own tribe, and that's making that stand. Sue-Ann, you were talking about, authenticity. That's part of authenticity. How do you be yourself in a world that wants us all to be the same? And social media does that, Yeah, self-empowered, stay in my own lane helps me stay focused. Absolutely. Yep. Absolutely. Sue-Ann, takes courage. Sure does. One of my clients has chosen that word for her word this year, which is fantastic. Everyone has a unique self. Being your unique self, no matter what. That's the key, isn't it, Donna? Like, it's the key is to stay in it. Many of us, I grew up, when in a school where it was just the same. You get a job and get married and have babies and live in a 4-bedroom house and everything will be fine. Well, that doesn't exist anymore. So who are we? Ooh, Sue-Ann, like that. Disruptive. Ooh, that's a good one. Ooh, I like that. Really cool. Great questions. How do clients know who you are, how you stand? Yeah, exactly. If you don't stand up and say who you are, how do they make a choice? Yep. Great, Elle. Because really, when you're in any business, it doesn't matter what it is. In any business that you're in, you bring your uniqueness. It doesn't, I know this in the EFT world. So, how does somebody make a separation from one EFT person to the other? And one of the things that I really, really have discovered in this process is that it's you. That's what people are looking for. It's your uniqueness. And if you try and follow somebody else, if you try and be like somebody else, then you lose your uniqueness. And that's your power. Your power is your uniqueness. Problem is, that's been taken out of us over the years. Yeah, it's been taken out of us over the years. So, it's to find that again. Nat, I want to just read this, Nat. I'm having trouble keeping up with you. Everyone just comments this one. I like courage. After reflecting on my last year in which we was healing, I think courage really sounds like, yep. And so, Nat, what happens is when you choose that word, courage, in those moments you get that, pick up the phone, phone somebody. Courage is my word. That's my word, okay? I am courage. I express courage. It's like I'll find the courage. It's like this mantra that kind of runs in your head all the time. But I kind of like courage too. It's that mantra that runs in your head all the time that just guides you through those down times, guides you through the mess. Last year, as I said, my word was limitless. And so every time I thought, I can't think, or I can't do this, wait, stop, limitless. If I believe I'm limitless, what would that look like? Going to Ali Brown's iconic, I had to really step into my belief in limitless and courage, in a room with these women from all over the world, 6- and 7-figure income earners. Yeah, it's great. Passion is to help client, Sue-Ann. My passion is to support my clients to assist in the manifest of their unlimited self. Ooh, lovely. I love that, Sue-Ann. Nat, I really like courage. I think that's maybe a little more than I've already, got that one. Fantastic. This is really cool. So in this process is to give yourself time. That's, really, it's like it becomes a heart word. When you finally go, that's it. I got it. That's it. Remember, this is all about, whole purpose about this is creating clarity. That's what you want. In 2019, especially in those, up until May in particular, on a federal election going on, you want that clarity. If you're working in business and you have clients, and you're working as coach or as a leader in a team, Your role is to help your clients or your team members have clarity. Okay, so how am I going to help them? So how does your word impact on your business and your clients or your team members? How do you show up with that word to assist them? Because much of this is about how you're going to assist them. I come and grab some. My mantra was I do hard things. Yeah. That can be taken, the other way around. I do hard things this year. Because it could also be lots of hard things show up. Limitless, that's a strong one. Yeah, limitless. It was really cool. And as I said, I sat for days creating the anagrams that came out of it, where I wanted to hit. Didn't hit the mark on everything that I wrote, but it kept me moving in that same direction, which was really good. So just I wanted to quickly finish word 801. So I did want to do let's do a tapping around this word. We'll finish off with this today. But I did want to mention the EFT for Leaders and Coaches program. Today is the last day of the super early bird price. So today's the last day to save $200 on the normal price. It's coming up on the 19th and 20th of January. I'd love to see you and help you work with, if you're a lead coach or you want to learn how to do this for your family. It's not a therapy model, this model, it's more a coaching model. So how you use EFT in coaching to help your clients move forward. Exactly, Donna. It's amazing the power of the word when I choose. The super early bird finishes today. We had some huge issues this week. I have that shadow of Mercury in retrograde, which I never believed in anyway, but apparently I do now. Like EFT, you don't have to believe in it to work, but we had huge issues with that website this week. We've had to move to a new service provider, new host, and then it took yesterday. I thought it was going to be done by lunchtime, and it's still some people who were signing up for the program said they had trouble getting in last night. But it's all sorted now. But yeah, we had some real issues. And boy, did I ever to tap through some of that stuff. The frustration when your website, it was up, but we just couldn't edit it in the back. Oh, silly me, I decided to upgrade to the new operating system and it didn't quite work. Anywho, we're all good now. Right, let's tap, shall we? Let's do a tapping. We want to. I want you. We're going to tap on the word. So I want you to, if you've got a word, write it down. If you are still debatable, there's a few, write them down. And just we're going to do we'll do a little bit of just clearing the clarity, clearing the confusion, creating the clarity, and then we'll finish off with a reframe. So let's go. For those who are on the call and have never done tapping before, just follow along. I'll help you clear the clarity and clear the confusion. Even though I'm not quite sure on this word, I deeply and completely accept myself and how I feel. Even though I really want a strong, powerful word. I want a word that resonates. And I'm just in a little bit of confusion at the moment. I deeply and completely accept myself and how I feel. Even though sometimes making a decision's a bit hard and I get a bit overwhelmed, I deeply and completely accept myself and how I feel. Okay, here we go. This confusion, is this word the right word for me? Feeling a bit confused. Not sure. Sometimes decisions are a bit hard. I don't like to make the wrong decision. This confusion. Feeling a bit confused. I don't like to make the wrong decision. I want to make the right one. Feeling a bit confused. I want to create clarity. Is this the right one for me? Sometimes I get a bit overwhelmed with decision. Does this word feel right? Feeling a bit overwhelmed. Okay, just take a deep breath. Let it go. So if you're looking at your word today, you've got sort of them out, and if you just do that typing, this confusion, feeling a bit confused, nothing's coming, feels a bit tough. So just do that. Okay, so whatever you're feeling. All right, let's do a reframe. All right, even though I'm still not 100% sure, I choose to find the word that resonates for me. Even though I'm not 100% sold on my word just yet, I know I'll choose the word that's perfect for me. Even though I have some great intentions this upcoming year, I choose to lean into the word that's perfect for me. Okay, tapping. I choose to create clarity. I know I'll choose the right word. I choose to lean into this word. I choose this word as my theme for the year. I really trust that this word will help guide me. I choose to lean into this word. I'm grateful for the clarity that comes from this choice. I'm grateful for the way the word will unfold into my year. Okay, just take a deep breath. Remember the power pose. Can just stand there, really resonate with this. It's just one of those things that's so easy to do, just taking those few moments every day just to get really clear, and you're allowing your brilliance, your uniqueness, your authenticity, your limitless being to express through it. And that's what's going to make 2019 a fabulous year. It's that. It's you. Nothing else exists outside of it. It's you. So I hope this has helped everybody. Thank you for being on the show, and thank you for the support for 2018. We'll be back on the second Saturday in January. I think it's the 10th. I don't know. Whatever that Saturday is. We land on the 4th, which is a Friday. So whatever is, must be the 12th. That we'll be back then. Isn't it time Facebook Live? I've got some great plans for next year. Thank you again, as I said, for your support, for being here. Oh, you're welcome, Sue Ann. Thank you for getting up early on a Saturday morning. And for those of you who don't get up early on a Saturday morning and watch me later, that's awesome too. Got some. I really wish you have thank you, everybody. Thank you. Thank you, Limitless. Yes, what a great way to start the weekend. You're welcome. Oh, thanks, Sue Ann. Thank you. Yes, everybody. Beautiful Christmas. A peaceful Christmas. Joyful, relaxing. We'll be reading books by a fire, I think. That's what we're going to be doing. But I wish you all a wonderful, wonderful Christmas and a joyful start to the new year. Thank you, Jackie. Yes, thank you. And you, everybody here, have a wonderful Christmas with your family, no matter what you're doing. And many blessings for the year ahead. I look forward to seeing you all in 2019. I love to know on that call. Is that in? Oh, lovely. Must be all that rain up there, Laura. I'd love to know when we get back on next year, we might do just a little review. What word did you end up choosing, and how is that moving? How are you moving through that now? So I might mental note to self. That'll be, I'll check in with you guys see how you go. So have a wonderful, wonderful Christmas, everybody. Beautiful New Year. And I look forward to seeing you in 2019. Thank you for your support. Love to you all. Thank you. Bye for now.